A Florida legislator finally trying to stop the atrocities happening in Florida's policing for-profit jails and prisons. PUNTA GORDA, police in Charlotte County, sheriff punt everyone in jail or prison for anything or everything, totally unneeded for victimless crimes, but because it's policing for profit you are the new product to create jobs in Florida. Our view: one legislator on crusade to improve prisons. Our position: Representative David Richardson, D. Miami Beach, has become the conscience of the Florida Department of Corrections. If only his fellow lawmakers would pay attention to his call for help. Florida's prisons are a mess. And that is no revelation. They have been a mess for years. Changes in leadership at the Department of Corrections and media accounts of abuse, decaying facilities and poor pay for corrections officers has done little to spur needed changes. It is up to the legislature to deal a new hand to Department of Corrections Secretary Julie Jones. Representative David Richardson has made it his own personal campaign to badger his colleagues into action. Richardson has long been an advocate for improving our prison system, improvements that have to start with better pay to help maintain some consistency in staffing. Starting pay for officers is $27,000 a year, and improvements to prison infrastructure. Keeping prisoners in facilities where plumbing often does not work just gives people who are already on the edge one more excuse to act out, creating serious threats to their safety and that of those charged with overseeing their well-being. The Tampa Bay Times and Miami Herald have led the push for prison reform and have documented Richardson's efforts. The Miami Democrat has made 60 unannounced visits to Florida prison facilities. He knows there will be no red carpet. No one will have time to clean up things. In one of his most recent visits, as outlined by Mary Ellen Class, of the Herald/Times Tallahassee Bureau, Richardson showed up at Columbia Correctional Institution and said he immediately knew things were bad. The lawmaker told Class that he had made enough visits to prisons to know inmates rarely want to speak. The repercussions for speaking out to the media are too real sometimes. There can be payback from guards and even gangs inside the prison. Yet, on this visit, he was met with loud complaints. The prisoners were tired of toilets that didn't flush. They wanted showers that work. They screamed about an exhaust fan that was so loud they could not sleep. It is easy for someone to brush off these complaints. After all, they are prisoners. No one guaranteed them a country club atmosphere. There are a couple of reasons we don't agree with that. First, they are human beings. The state is charged with keeping them safe and reasonably comfortable. We are not a third world country, and we are not a country that believes in torturing its prisoners. Second is the fact that unhappy prisoners can be a threat to prison employees. In the past 6 months, DOC has dealt with 6 disturbances, riots, if you will, at state prisons. In June, at Franklin Correctional Institution, 300 inmates attacked a corrections officer and destroyed 2 housing dorms before order was restored. Richardson says the legislature must do more to support FDC efforts to bring the facilities up to acceptable standards. Jones, on the job about a year now, is more open about the problems than previous DOC leaders. She has lobbied for better pay for corrections officers and to fix up dilapidated facilities. But her pleas have not been loud enough. Too often, she has backed off, perhaps fearing rocking the boat too strongly will turn off lawmakers who hold the keys to the budget. Kudos to Richardson for his determination to right the ship. When lawmakers return to Tallahassee, funneling more money into DOC should be a priority.